on they block, I'm about to score right there.
What down, family? It's your boy SNTV, back at y'all with another Chiraq Street Legends. And this episode is going to be about none other than Tay Capone, aka Tay Up Them Rugers.
Every time I wake up from my sleep, I got my pole right there. Never stood on gyro, shot at ops cause I couldn't go right there. And if you saw me sliding on they block, I'm about to score right there. Then I hit the tray and slide through dollars cause the O right there.
Tay is originally from the low end. His mother is from 49th and State, or Vulture City, and his dad is from 43rd and State, both from the Robert Taylor projects. He also stayed in the Ickies. Even though he came up as a shorty on the low end, he always had ties to 600 because his grandma always stayed in 600's area. Tay's dad was heavy in the streets, so he was treated like hood royalty. And even though he came up in between dangerous neighborhoods, it wasn't until the Robert Taylors were knocked down that he started really getting in the streets. After going to schools outside of his primary hood, he ended up going to Bessie Ross, where a lot of his friends were. Immediately, his grades would decline, and he would start getting suspended and missing classes. Even though school went from easy to hard, he would still end up graduating. After grammar school, he went out to live in Joliet with his auntie, where he would attend Joliet Central. He played running back on the football field as well. He started going back and forth from Joliet to the city, still involved in street activity. In his freshman year, he would lose 3 of his friends, Baldy, Lil Steve, and D-Thang. He would eventually come home one weekend and decided not to go back. Before the war between 600 and MOB started, they were close. Their hoods were in such close proximity that they really had no choice but to see each other. 600 was from 60th to 63rd, Michigan, Wabash, and Indiana. And MOB's hood was from like 56th to 59th of those same streets. When the war started really cracking, there became a lot of casualties quick. This was a situation to where guys who were just friends had to pick a side. A lot of people started clicking up, and it was really kind of hard to tell who was a friend and who was an enemy. So you had to be cautious in the streets. There was a lot of 14, 15, and 16-year-olds out in the streets with heavy artillery and no one to guide them. And even if there was someone to guide them, they wasn't doing no listening. Only thing they was doing was feeling body bad. And Tay knew that if he wasn't just a savage, he would end up in one.
Where we at right now, man?
Man, we out here cooling, man, on Front Street 600, man. You already know how we rocking, man.
Man,
out here with the squad. Let's get it.
That's what it is. We got the squad out here, man. What block this is, fam?
This is Indiana, man, you know.
Really Chiraq shit, huh?
Yeah, Chiraq shit. We out here in the streets, man. Y'all know how we getting it.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man.
10-600 out here, old block out here.
Old block out here, Front Street out here.
We got a lot of love, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man.
Demo.
Them shots, folks.
Yeah.
Hold on. What just happened?
Right,
what happened?
Shots, man.
Shot, you still hit them bitches.
What the fuck is happening, man? It's Chiraq shit, man. Real live out here, man. You hear that shit?
You still here. Yeah.
So we doing
real shit, man.
We doing an interview and motherfuckers letting 30s off?
Letting 30s off
right now, man.
Squad.
Only in Chiraq, right?
Squad. Let's get it.
Squad type shit, man.
Y'all already know, man.
Big B's, man. 600, Tay 600, man.
Tay 600 in this bitch, man.
According to Tay, before he ever picked up a gun to go put it in his own work, he went on like 10 different hits with D-Thang, Lil Boo, and C-Day. So he was well trained before he ever started pulling the trigger. Lil Boo and D-Thang are the ones that started 600. And according to Tay, Lil Boo is the one that recruited Tay. We all know that Lil Boo, rest in peace, wasn't no joke himself.
Take these boots off. Boots off. Fucking boots off, bitch.
It has been said that Tay had started sliding just as much as Rondo and C-Day, and he earned the nickname Tay Up Them Rugers. It has also been said by Tay himself that he used to slide with Von. His friend Tay Capone was no stranger to gunplay either. As a matter of fact, if you hadn't put in no work, you couldn't even be a part of 600. And it's been said that at the time, 600 was actually wilder than O Block. And out of all of the wars, with 600 beefing with MOB, and MOB being clicked up with 051, just as well as 600 was clicked up with O Block and other BD sets, 051 ended up killing his best friend. This was kind of when everything went downhill for 600. Tay was already rapping before LA died, but when LA died, he started taking it a lot serious. And then he ended up becoming, if not the best, one of the best rappers in 600. And then lo and behold, things would get worse for 600. Rondo and C-Day would end up catching the murder case. And Tay would be implicated as a rat in the situation. Because of those allegations, Tay ended up splitting from 600. And whether the rumor was true or not, it couldn't have possibly affected the case. That was actual footage from the scene of that night that told the story of what happened to Javon Boyd. Also, C-Day dumbass left his phone. There was also a rumor going around saying that Tay had knocked off Dirk's baby mama. At first it was just a rumor until Tay confirmed it. So that right there kind of started another inner beef, and it kind of made the whole snitching allegations go a little bit more crazier since Dirk had clout. This was a hard pill to swallow for Tay, who said that when those rumors first started going around and he seen that everybody in his hood was believing it, he contemplated suicide. But he would eventually get his shit together and get back on his game. After the whole snitching allegation situation took place, Tay 600 would end up doing a small stint in jail and then getting out, doing a couple interviews with Zach TV, and it was right back to the music. His music will actually get a lot better. He will begin to learn how to use metaphors and just gain an overall better vocabulary. In 2016, he would end up getting shot in Atlanta by a guy with the Draco in a situation to where he said a guy that he was cool with had it all wrong. The guy actually thought that he went way to Atlanta to break into his house and steal his clothes, but that wasn't true. 2018, King Von would end up getting out of the county after he beat his case. He would almost instantly gain fame, but he would team up with OTF and Lil Durk, and he wouldn't have too much to say about Tay Capone, but he did make a brief statement that kind of made Tay feel some type of way, and Tay had a point.
For me and Von, man. But like, he could have did a lot. He could say a lot worse. He could be like Buka and be a bitch. He could say all type of bitch ass shit. You feel me? And all type of hoe shit. You feel me? Like, he could do a lot of shit. And he don't. He just go around or, you know, speak a little shit. You feel me? Like, but it's a lot of shit that's wrong what he said. And I'm going to tell y'all why. First of all, Von, that shit he say ain't accurate. He can't fuck with me. My name ain't good. If that's the case, my name ain't. He say my name not good. Shit, my name ain't been good then since Rondo and them first got caught for the shit they was saying, trying to say I was snitching. He was my best friend. That was my best friend on phone now. When they first got locked up for that shit in March, they immediately started the rumor in March. Von was locked up. He didn't go to jail till that summer of 2014, and I was with Von every day. He was coming to my crib every day. Him and T-Roy and them every day. We was hanging together every day. I was going O-Block with him still all the time, and he was tweaking with niggas about that shit with me. You feel me? Letting niggas know. You feel me? Man, shorty woo out the band. That's my brother. This, that, and the third. That's gonna, y'all got folks fucked up. You feel me? He was like that. You feel me? So it's like when a nigga say certain shit, I gotta speak on both ends. Like if you can't fuck with a nigga because the name ain't good, then what was that shit we was doing back in the day? What was that shit that was going on when you was in jail? You feel me? You feel me? Like you was in jail and you called my phone every day. We spoke every day. I used to steal my mama's car to go to court for Von. I ain't never seen a nigga from O Block 600, Lemron, nowhere in Von Court. I never seen Dirk in there. I never seen no nigga, besides Balo and his peoples, Von family. I never seen none of them in there. Especially when he first started the case, because everybody thought he was getting cracked because his rapper was telling on him. Big Mike from O Block was telling on him. So everybody thought he was going to jail. Nobody was like, oh yeah, woo, out the band. You feel me? Ain't nobody believe Von was getting out. But me. Me and Von was the only two that kept faith. Then when everybody figured out Mike was gonna sign the affidavit, niggas started showing up. You feel me? But nobody gave a fuck about Von. They thought they was finna lose him. They went to
Tay Capone has dropped music with Polo G and S. Dot after handling their differences. Whether people like it or not, Tay Capone is one of the best rappers that has come out of the city of Chicago. And whether people like it or not, he is a Chiraq street legend. He's been here since the beginning of the drill scene, and he's still alive. Here lately, he's kind of slowed down on the music, and he's been blogging. He's also been locked up a few times for pipes. I definitely wish Tay Capone success in all of his endeavors. And I think that what we can learn from the story of Tay Capone is this. At the end of the day, most of your homies, my homies, his homies, her homies are only there temporarily. What do you mean by that, SNTV? When things are up, everybody's on your side. But when things are down, when things get shitty, and it comes time for somebody to really be a rider, 95% of those people are not going to be there. In Tay Capone's situation, everybody was basically with him until the snitch allegations. Then everybody pretty much abandoned him. But mark my words, if Tay Capone comes up right now and makes it big in the industry, all of those people that labeled him a snitch will be right back on his dick. The only thing that you can do to stay out of jail in the city of Chicago is leave the city of Chicago. Why do you say that, SNTV? Because if you riding around that city and you butt naked, meaning you have no gun, there's a good chance that you may lose your life. And that goes for neutrons, pedestrians, and gangbangers alike. It's 2023, and everybody got them. So it's gonna be hard for you to be the only one out there moving around without one. You know, this has been another episode of Chiraq Street Legends. It's your boy, SNTV.
I do the digital dash. I whip this bitch till I crash. I'm finna get on your ass. Phone nigga who block me splash. I ride with some with the trunk in the front. I'ma stun all the scene, all the cash. You can get hit with the pump if you want. When I up, you know I'm a blast. You tryna copy, you can't. I up this bitch and I blank. Slide on the op, leave a stank. Up in my hood, I got rank. Bitch, I'm a savage, no saint. I up the road, make a feint. I hit a op in the paint. I spend a 10 at the bank.